Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is George from the Elvis Vinyl Guy channel, and today I'm here to do a review on Elvis Presley's album collection 60 CD box set through Sony Legacy. This is every one of his studio albums on RCA that were released. This is the top, these are the sides. Very, very beautiful box set. This is the sheet that was on the bottom. I kept that. I try to keep that always. So basically, the lid just opens off. And there are all of your albums, all numbered 1 through 60. If you notice at the very bottom, there's your numbers. At top is a book, Elvis Presley, the album collection. It's a hardback with one of his awards on the back, his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the first page. I'm not going to go through this whole book, but it tells about all the recording, all the notes on all the albums. It's very detailed, very beautiful book, very amazing photos inside. Your photos from the recording studio. Got some great recording studio photos. Like, for instance, Disc 4 is the Elvis Christmas album, which was originally released as LOC 1035. It was released October 15, 1957. Its peak chart position was #1 on the pop charts, and its RIAA status is 3 times platinum. And then it tells you all the songs and has a little write-up about the album. All the different publicity stuff from the album. Then it goes into disc 5 is the Golden Records Volume 1, which was LPM 1707, released March 21st, 1958. Peak chart position is #3 on the pop charts, and RIAA status is 6 times platinum. But just some phenomenal photos throughout Elvis's career. And basically session information. I mean, it just goes on and on. Every time he was in the studio, it tells the date, who was the musicians in the studio with him, what songs were recorded. I mean, it's an amazing book. This is members of his TCB band from the 70s. And he's got pictures of all of his 45 sleeves, what was on them, when they were released, their RIAA status, extended plays. It's got all those listed, what songs were on them when they were released, their RIAA status, their chart position status, everything. And it's got some pictures of now, if you go to Graceland, the different awards and stuff that they have on display. It's a very beautiful book. So that is in there along with this, and we'll get to this in a minute. These are all the hype stickers that were released during his career on his individual albums, and we will get to those. Well, it's not all the hype stickers, but most. I will say that. It's most of the hype stickers. There's some that are missing, but it's your main ones. It's your main hype stickers. And I just kept those on there. I'm not putting them on the albums. So basically you start off, disc 1 is his very first release on RCA. And these are mini LP sleeves that are exact replicas of the original. And they were really, really meticulous, all the way down to even the binding has that on there. What's really cool is the CDs are a reflection of the original album, the labels on the original vinyl records. And these have all been remastered through Sony Legacy. They all sound great. CD2 is Elvis's second release, just titled Elvis. This is LPM 1382. This has the ad back. And the original label that would have been released on that. Third release is Loving You. This is a soundtrack. I'm not going to show you all these. I think that'll be the last one until we get to a label change, and then I'll show you a few of those, okay? The very next release is his Elvis Christmas album. This is LOC 1035. And it originally was a gatefold, which this is a gatefold. And it had a booklet of photos in it. And they meticulously reproduced that booklet. These are all publicity photos taken during his Jailhouse Rock sessions. And they were put in as a bonus photo album in his Christmas album. So very, very beautiful. Very well done. And all of these sound amazing. They really do. Sony Legacy did an excellent job remastering these. I think. My own personal opinion. The fifth album, of course, was Elvis Gold Records Volume 1. They even did the blue writing with the song titles absent from the front cover. They really, really did a great, great job on this stuff. After Gold Records Volume 1, then you've got King Creole with the original light blue RCA Victor box with the LPM 1884 in the corner. Next is for LP fans only. And that's the back cover. And it still has the original label, the same one that you've already seen. The very next release after that was A Date with Elvis. Now, for LP fans and A Date with Elvis, the significance of those albums, and the reason why it's called LP fans only, is this is the first time that we were ever able to get some of the Sun recordings on LP. So these were all like That's Alright Mama, Lottie Miss Claudia, Mystery Train, Playing for Keeps, Poor Boy from the Love Me Tender soundtrack. So everything on here was its first time on vinyl, 12-inch, 33 1/3. And so goes with the very next album. Everything on here was its first time. Now this had a 1960 calendar on the back. It was a gatefold, and inside the gatefold was some pictures of Elvis in the Army and a telegraph sent from Elvis and Colonel Tom Parker. Now, the songs on this, once again, are Blue Moon, Kentucky, Young and Beautiful, Baby I Don't Care, Milk Cow Blues Boogie, Baby Let's Play House, Good Rockin' Tonight, Is It So Strange, We're Gonna Move, I Want to Be Free, and I Forgot to Remember to Forget. So once again, songs from Jailhouse Rock and Sun releases, which weren't available on LP. This is the first time they were ever on 33 and a third. Then after that, you have Elvis Gold Records Volume 2. That iconic back cover. After that, you have arguably one of the best Elvis albums ever recorded, Elvis Is Back. This came after he got back from Germany. Inside are pictures of him on maneuvers while in the military. Now, what's cool about this is where this comes in. Originally, this had a hype sticker right here, and it would have been this hype sticker right there. I was just checking something out. So, after Elvis Is Back, then you have the soundtrack to GI Blues, which is his movie he made about being in the military. Obviously, it wasn't a true story, but after GI Blues, we have Elvis's first gospel album called His Hand in Mine. What amazing picture of Elvis on the front there. Now, we're still in the RCA Victor black labels in this time period in his life. Then you're getting into his mellow moods now, his almost Sinatra-esque music, very pop vocal, Something for Everybody. This is some of the best music that he's ever recorded, in my opinion. Then we got another soundtrack, which is Blue Hawaii. Now, Blue Hawaii would have also had this hype sticker, contains the Twist Special Rockahula Baby and Can't Help Falling in Love. That would be that hype sticker right there. So, very meticulous with all the hype stickers and everything. It's a very complete set. Then one of my personal favorites from the 60s is Potluck. This album contains a song that he wrote for his mother. One of the very few songs that Elvis wrote in his career with Red West is That's Someone You Never Forget. After that, we go on to Girls, Girls, Girls. I believe this is the first one. Yeah, I believe so. This is the first album that has a bonus photo in it. This is another thing that they did. Girls, 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 when it was originally released, it was released with a 1963 Elvis calendar in the album. And this comes with a meticulously redone 1963 Elvis calendar. And on the back of these bonus photos was always a Elvis catalog describing the current releases that were available on RCA Victor through Elvis's catalog. So very, very beautifully made. Coming up is my favorite one of my favorite soundtracks. GI Blues is probably my favorite, but this is my second favorite. I love this album cover also. It happened at the World's Fair. And this is the next album that was released with a bonus photo. There's your CD, still on the black label with this album. And one of the hardest bonus photos to find would be that one. And on the back was that advertisement. Now, if you have a full collection of these originals on vinyl with the bonus photos, those are pretty decent collectibles. Probably my favorite greatest hits package of his would be Greatest Hits Volume 3. This has all the classics in my opinion, which you know I'm not a fan of the Elvis in the 50s, but this has It's Now or Never, Stuck on You, Fame or Fortune, I Gotta Know, one of my favorite songs, Surrender, I Feel So Bad. Hands down, one of his favorite songs, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Marie's Name is Latest Flame, Little Sister, Good Luck Charm, anything that's part of you, she's not you. This, however, does not come with its original bonus, which was only handed out when you bought the album, so it really wasn't a bonus. Then up next is another soundtrack, which is a great soundtrack in my opinion. Elvis's Fun in Acapulco. Some really fun songs on this album. We still are on the black RCA label period here. Up next is another Kissin' Cousins. Up next, another great soundtrack in Roustabout. The only thing I wish is that when they released this box set, this is on stereo. A lot of these are on stereo, and I wish they would have just released them with the mono pressings, but hey, we could not have this box set, so a beggar cannot be a chooser. Girl Happy, another soundtrack. This did not have a bonus. Another great album, Elvis for Everyone. Love this back. Now this had some great songs like Your Cheating Heart, Finders, Keepers, Losers, Weepers. I Met Her Today, In My Way, Memphis, Tennessee. His take on a Chuck Berry, Johnny Rivers tune. Tomorrow Night, When It Rains It Really Pours. Just great songs on that album too. Now coming up is one of my least favorite soundtrack albums, definitely my least favorite movie. I don't think I've ever even seen this movie all the way through. Is Elvis's Harem Scarum. What utter garbage, and Elvis would be here to tell you. This is another one with a bonus photo. What a hideous bonus photo it was. This had nothing on the back when it was originally released. Next is Frankie and Johnny. Another favorite movies. Pretty decent soundtrack. This had a really cool bonus photo. It doesn't look anything like Elvis, but it was a painting. And they made prints of it, and it originally had nothing on the back either. We are still in the black label RCA, so no need in showing you that. Paradise Hawaiian Style. Once again, the stereo pressing. There was no bonus photo here. Next is Spin Out. This is a great rock and roll soundtrack. This was your bonus photo. And it was blank on the back as well. Next is his second religious album called How Great Thou Art. I don't believe this has a Grammy sticker. No, it does not. Yeah. I missed some of those hype stickers, but no need in showing you every single one of them. Then you have the soundtrack to Double Trouble. And this also had a bonus photo. And on the back is his catalog. Very well done. Very well done. I was very, very impressed with what they did there. Next up is another one I wish they would have done in mono, but it is the soundtrack to Clambake. Another great album. This had a really cool bonus photo. It had nothing on the back. It was textured when it originally came out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is textured. The same exact kind of texturing as the original bonus photo. Only CD size. Just stunning, stunning. I can't say enough about this set. Next is your Elvis Gold Records Volume 4. Another outstanding Gold Records collection. Now we've got Speedway. This one also had a hype sticker. This was the hype sticker, by the way, for Frankie and Johnny. It's one of these. I believe it's that one. Either way. This had a really nice... This was the bonus photo for Speedway. Very beautiful photo of him and his catalog. This was 1968, so if you have a mono pressing of either this one or Elvis Records, Gold Records Volume 4, then you have something that's worth a pretty penny. Now we're getting into Elvis Sings Flaming Star and Others. This is presented by Singer, the sewing machine company. It was the only place that you could pick this album up at. This, however, did not come with its bonus photo. Reason being is it really truly didn't have a bonus photo. When you purchased this record at Singer, while supplies lasted, they had a bonus photo that they handed you, but it did not come in the package like all the others. So they did not replicate it for this. Oh, and the label is now the mustard yellow with a PRS 279 catalog number. It's the only label that will look like that in his catalog. The only label that will have that number in his catalog too. All the others are LSP or LPMs for stereo or mono. You've got the 68 Comeback Special, which is a mono release. It's the only way it was because it was recorded off of TV. And it is the first introduction of the orange label, technically. Speedway soundtrack in 1968 was also released. Actually, Speedway in 1968 was originally also released on the orange label or the black label, depending on what plant it was pressed at. So you can have an original first pressing of Speedway and it be on the orange label. Next up is one of his greatest albums is from Elvis and Memphis from 1969. One of his greatest accomplishments in my opinion. This was on the orange label once again. And this had a pretty cool bonus photo. It was also on textured paper with his catalog on the back. Next up was a 2-record set, which I loved. This is Elvis in person at International Hotel Las Vegas, Nevada. And this would have had, I don't believe this comes with a bonus. Oh, yeah. 2 souvenir photos inside this album. That one right there would have originally been on there. And then it's a gatefold. And the album on the back is Elvis Back in Memphis, which is a completely separate album. You could, after this, buy this one and this one separate. It's on the orange label. And the 2 bonus photos. These are 2 bonus photos. I have this exact set on vinyl with those 2 exact bonus photos. So really beautiful packaging. They did such an outstanding job. I can't say enough about this package. Now we're coming up on the Camden releases. RCA Camden, they did Let's Be Friends. This is basically the music from Charo and Change of Habit. And this would have been on the blue Camden label. RCA Camden. They did not put every one of those albums in this box set, which is another regret I have, but oh well. Next is Elvis on Stage. This is just the regular orange label. Another is another RCA Camden release called Almost in Love. This is, some of these songs on here are really close to the only time Elvis did psych. In fact, a song called Edge of Reality is considered a psych rock song. So that is Elvis's delving into the psych catalog. After that is my hands down favorite Elvis album ever. My favorite period in Elvis's career is Elvis, That's the Way It Is. This was a second to last movie. It was a documentary about his concert series at the Hilton in Las Vegas, and it is the best vocals of his career in my opinion, and just everything amazing about Elvis. Next up is Elvis' country album. I think this could have been done differently and it would have been a better album. It's still an okay album, but I don't like the fact that the song I Was Born 10,000 Years Ago plays throughout the entire album in between all the tracks. It's kind of annoying. I like the song. I'd rather hear it by itself. I like the songs that are on this album. Now this had a bonus photo also, still on the orange label. And the bonus photo was him as a little baby, and on the back was from the time period. This is actually some rehearsal footage from Elvis, That's the Way It Is. And its hype sticker would have been this one right here. Arguably, some people say this is a horrible Elvis album. I say it's a decent Elvis album with some really good folk music on it. I don't really see that much wrong with it at all. A lot of people have their issues with it. I think it's fine. This is the Dynaflex orange label. didn't want to make this album too awfully long, but doing a review, I kind of wanted to show everything through, so I apologize. Come On Everybody by Elvis. This is another Camden release. Up next is another Camden release with I Got Lucky. What I don't understand is that they did not release Elvis Separate Ways in this box set, which would have had Separate Ways and Always on My Mind on it. This has got basically a bunch of movie music from Kid Galahad and Easy Come, Easy Go, stuff like that. One of my favorite songs is on here, though, Fools Fall in Love. I love that. The very next one is Come On Everybody, which is another song that's got a bunch of stuff from Kid Galahad. And Easy Come, Easy Go, and Follow That Dream. This is an Elvis Christmas album, which would have had that hype sticker. It's still on the orange label. And it had a postcard signed by Elvis, and they replicated this postcard, and it is just amazing that they did that. Next up is one of his studio albums, Elvis Now, one of my favorites. His last gospel album while he was alive is He Touched Me. An award-winning gospel album at that. Elvis recorded live at Madison Square Garden. One of the fails on Colonel Tom Parker and RCA's part is that this concert, which was the concert of his life, in 1972, he was on a waiting list for a long time to get in the Madison Square Garden, and for some ungodly reason, unbeknownst to every Elvis fan in the world, no professional video footage, so you tell me. This is the biggest thing he ever did in his life. This is the 1973 Aloha via satellite from Hawaii, or Aloha from Hawaii via satellite concert. This was seen over by 1 billion people. This is the hype sticker, both of them. You got a quadra-disc one that went on the front, and this one went on the back, Saturn. And you're still on the orange label. This is the orangish red quadra-disc label. This is Elvis, referred to as the Fool album, because that's a song on it. It says it at the top, but it is just called Elvis by Elvis Presley. So most fans call that the Fool album. After that, you have a Raised on Rock, which was on the RCA label. Still the orange Dynaflex. And you've got Good Times. This would have been the hype sticker for that. There's also another hype sticker for the song My Boy, which was not part of this set. If you just saw one of my last videos, though, I did find a copy of this in the shrink with both hype stickers on it. This is Elvis recorded live on stage in Memphis. This was a concert he did in Memphis in 1974. Then you've got Promised Land. This had some good songs on it. You've got Today, which the type sticker would have been this Trouble. You've got his second to last album, which was called From Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee, recorded live. And what people have a problem with this is because it says recorded live, yet it is not recorded at a concert. However, as I've said before, recorded live does not have to have a studio audience. It is recorded live in the studio. That means they're not overdubbing or anything. They're playing it one take, one get. One and done. Elvis Moody Blues. This is his last album. Originally on the black label. The last two, actually I forgot to show you. The other one was a tan label. Yeah, that would have been on a tan label. And then in the States, Moody Blues was on a black label, originally on black vinyl, and then it went to blue vinyl, and then it went back to black vinyl. The last three CDs in the set are Elvis Presley Magnetic Tape Scotch. This is from the vaults, the 50s. This is different things from the 50s that weren't in his regular albums, like things he did at Sun Studios before Sun Studios picked him up. Then there's from a vault from the 60s, which has the same stuff, and from the 70s, which is basically things that weren't released, alternate outtakes or something. So that's it. That is the whole entire set. It's going to stay just like this. I won't put these stickers on the albums. However, I would like to get a second set just so I could do that. It really eats me up sometimes to think that I could, and I haven't done it yet. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, it's all been remastered by Sony Legacy. It's an amazing set. You can get them fairly cheap for what it is now on Amazon. When they first came out, they were almost $300, if not over $300 through Elvis.com. But it's well worth the money. I don't regret a day that I bought this thing. I don't listen to it a lot because I listen to his records, but anytime I want to, it's there. It sounds great, and it's really nice to have. So well done, so heavy set, and just beautiful. And I hope you liked it. I hope you get inspired to get one of these, or at least start tracking one down. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any questions, please, feel free to ask me. I love to answer questions. I try to answer all my comments. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so now. I do reviews on Elvis items. I do reviews on other items. I do vinyl finds. I go digging. I have fun, and I hope you have fun too. So rock on, everybody.